Breaking news on CNN Philippines, I'm Ina Andolong. The local government of Cotabato City offers a reward of 500,000 pesos for any information leading to the arrest of the suspects in a deadly blast on New Year's Eve. This was confirmed to CNN Philippines by Cotabato City Police spokesperson Roel Zafra. 2 people have died while 30 others were injured in the incident. A group linked to the Islamic State is being eyed behind the blast. The Moro Islamic Liberation Front, meanwhile, offered help to track down the bombers. It hinted that the blast could be meant to derail the Bangsamoro peace process. A plebiscite to ratify the Bangsamoro Organic Law is scheduled on January 21st. The confessed gunman in the killing of Ako Bicol Party List Representative Rodel Batucabe tags Daraga Albay Mayor Carlwin Baldo in the crime. Henry Yuson, a former army soldier, says he was ordered to commit the crime by Baldo and didn't even get the payment promised to him for the job. Yuson has confessed to shooting Batucabe in broad daylight at an event in Daraga last December 22.
Ako gusto kong magsorry po sa pamilya ng Batucabe po na bayaran lang po ako ng na ipapatay si Congressman Rodel Batucabe ni Awin Mayor Baldo. Wala po akong nakuha kahit piso na dahil inudas rin po ako nung kasama po si Tupeng. Kinuha niya po yung bayad. Yun po ang grabing pagsisisi ko.
Tuping is Christopher Naval, Baldo's alleged security aide who surrendered to the police last week. He too pointed to the mayor as the mastermind in Batucabe's killing. Interior Secretary Eduardo Año believes Baldo's supposed failure to pay the 5 million pesos he promised the men hired to kill Batucabe was the reason why the suspects readily tagged him as the mastermind. Mayor Baldo has since insisted on his innocence. Consumer prices went further down in December 2018, the lowest since June. On Friday, the Philippine Statistics Authority said the inflation rate was at 5.1%. This is lower than the inflation rate in November at 6% and even lower than the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas forecast range of 5.2 to 6%. The PSA attributes the drop to lower prices of food and beverage and fuel. The Metro Manila Police will deploy over 7,000 police personnel to secure the Traslacion this year. NCRPO Chief Guillermo Eleazar says there is no direct threat to the event, but they remain on full alert to ensure the security of the devotees. Phone signals will also be blocked on the procession's route, which will be a no-fly and no-sail zone. Checkpoints will also be set up in areas covered by the 6.1-kilometer Traslacion route.
We will be augmenting around 7,200 police personnel. 2,200 personnel will be coming from the Manila Police District. Ito yung magbabantay dun sa areas ng Traslacion. Definitely, yung iba niya mga police, syempre, nasa police station pa rin yan for anti-criminality operations. And 5,000 will be augmenting MPD. These 5,000 will come from the other 4 districts as well as the Regional Mobile Force Battalion.
The local government of Manila has suspended classes and work on January 9th. It will also start conducting clearing operations on the Traslacion route to ensure a seamless procession. The Manila Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office has also put in place emergency response teams during the procession. 1 person died while thousands have been left stranded on Thailand's southern Gulf Coast as tropical storm Pabuk hit land yesterday. Pabuk made landfall at the Pakpanang district of Nakhon Si Tamarat province. Before the landfall, authorities had moved to suspend all flights and ferry services. Thailand's disaster agency says thousands of residents living in coastal areas were evacuated. Some of the country's most popular tourist destinations are in the storm's path. The last time a tropical storm hit Thailand was in 1962. The only time a typhoon ever made landfall there was in 1989. The National Police say Mayor Baldo already surrendered ammunition and 3 out of the 4 firearms registered under his name. President Rodrigo Duterte threatens to slap Daraga Mayor Carlwin Baldo if he, as the president says, continues to threaten the relatives of slain Ako Bicol Party List Representative Rodel Batucabe. Here's the president in his own words.
Pero yung sa labas, kaya nung pumunta ako ng Albay, Oo, sabi ko, pag meron man talaga tatakbo yung relative, the wife or the son, do not, kasi pag ginawa mo yan, puntahan kita dito, sampalin kita dyan sa munisipyo mo. You want to try it? Sige. Bukas andoon ako. Pag hindi kita, nilampaso dyan sa...
The president did not name Baldo, but former special assistant to the president, Bongo, confirms to CNN Philippines that Mr. Duterte was indeed referring to the mayor. The local government of Cotabato City offers a reward of 500,000 pesos for any information leading to the arrest of the suspects in a deadly blast on New Year's Eve. This was confirmed to CNN Philippines by Cotabato City Police spokesperson Roel Zafra. 2 people died while 30 others were injured after a bomb went off outside a shopping mall in Cotabato City. A group linked to the Islamic State is being eyed behind the blast. The Moro Islamic Liberation Front, meanwhile, offered to help track down the bombers. It hinted that the blast could be meant to derail the Bangsamoro peace process. A plebiscite to ratify the Bangsamoro Organic Law is scheduled on January 21st. President Duterte visits Camarines Sur in the aftermath of Tropical Depression Usman. The president conducted an aerial inspection to check the extent of damage. Officials from various agencies briefed Mr. Duterte on the impact of the weather disturbance. 122 people died in the calamity, according to the latest tally of disaster management officials.
Samantala, dahil naman sa low pressure area natin, yung Bicol region at...
Days before Christmas, Pag-asa has consistently warned about possible rains in the Bicol region. The rains, at times heavy, dragged on for about a week, which has caused the soil to soften. On the weekend before New Year, tragedy struck as massive landslides buried communities. More than 120 are dead as of latest count.
Hindi namin ini-expect ito eh. Sino ba naman gusto nito mangyari, di ba?
As the search for the missing continues almost a week since the disaster, fearing the death toll could still rise, questions are being raised, steering finger-pointing.
Do not blame us. Ang problema doon, we don't have the appropriate information. Dapat, meron dyan sasabihin ng DNR. Ito hindi tatagal ito. Ang tolerance nitong lupa dito para sa gano'n na millimeter of rain.
I'd like to encourage the good governor to refrain from pointing fingers.
The Environment Department taking offense with Secretary Roy Simatu reportedly planning to confront the Albay governor. The DNR says it wrote the Albay Disaster Office in April 2017 to provide them an updated database on the province's hazard map.
You should have implemented the precautionary measures.
Bicol has had a tragic history of deadly landslides. In 2006, more than 1,000 people were killed after Typhoon Reming triggered lahar mud flow in the slopes surrounding Mayon volcano. The high number of deaths in the aftermath of Tropical Depression Usman comes as a shock for Bicol, particularly Albay, which has become a model for disaster preparedness and resiliency.
Now, we learned the lesson today that they should do more homework. Itong DNR.
Kung maganda naman yung mga naunang sistema, sana ituloy natin. Dahil hindi nangyari noon to eh. Bakit nangyari ngayon?
The string of deadly landslides in 2018 has also prompted the DNR to reassess the hazard maps. It has provided local government units. The National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, or NAMRIA, has been ordered to do the review. Pag-asa also wants its local bureaus to strengthen coordination with LGUs to better identify areas vulnerable to landslides.
Kami nagbibigay lang ng general weather, pero sila assess na nila kung ano yung possible impacts doon. With the help of na rin po, DENR, dahil sila yung mas nakakaalam ng quality ng soil doon.
While fault finding may not be helpful at this time, there's also demand for government accountability, especially in a disaster with an unprecedented number of deaths that could have been prevented. David Santos, CNN Philippines.
The Commission on Elections urges politicians to avoid taking advantage of traslasyon to campaign for the May 2019 polls. COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez calls on what he calls epaliticos, or attention-seeking politicians, to respect the holy event. Environment group Ecowaste Coalition says the premature campaigning will only aggravate trash, including tarpaulins, leaflets, and other promotional materials. The Manila City government says nearly 400 tons of mixed garbage were collected from Quirino Grandstand and Quiapo during the traditional pahalik and procession in 2018. Pop princess Britney Spears cancels her upcoming Las Vegas show after her father almost died from illness. The singer announced she is taking some time off and that she wants to put all her focus and energy to her family this time. In a press release obtained by CNN, it was revealed that Jamie Spears was hospitalized months ago due to his colon spontaneously rupturing. Meantime, Britney thanked her fans for the support and prayers. The Britney Domination show in Las Vegas was supposed to be launched in February. A lot of people are still talking about Netflix thriller film Bird Box since it was released a few weeks ago. In fact, the house featured in it is now a hit too. This house is located in Monrovia City in California, about 20 miles east of Los Angeles. In the movie, Sandra Bullock's character Mallory, along with other survivors, find refuge in the home. Fans are taking pictures of the home's front steps. Some of them are even covering their eyes. That's because in the film, the characters must keep their eyes closed in order to stay alive. The Transportation Department assures commuters MRT operations will not be affected by the train's scheduled rehabilitation this month. Officials say they will maintain 15 trains operating daily. The government signed a deal with Japanese firm Sumitomo Corporation for the repair of the aging MRT. This includes rail tracks, signaling systems, and the overhaul of more than 70 first-generation coaches. Also included are the repair of escalators and elevators at all MRT stations. Officials say rehabilitation will begin by the last week of January and will take over 3 years to complete. In November, the Department of Finance and Japan International Cooperation Agency signed an 18.76 billion peso loan agreement to finance the MRT rehabilitation. Actor Tony Labrusca speaks up after arguing with an immigration officer at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport last Thursday. In a Twitter post, Labrusca apologizes to the immigration officer he had fought with. The Gloria star admitted he loudly argued with the immigration officer for having only 30 days to stay in the country. Labrusca is deeply sorry after making a scene, but he denies touting his celebrity status to get his way. Labrusca adds his biggest mistake was letting his emotions get better of him after a long flight from Canada. The incident has led the Bureau of Immigration to remind the public on the scope of the Balikbayan program intended for former Filipinos visiting the Philippines. BI Commissioner Jaime Morente says under the law, a 1-year Balikbayan visa privilege is exclusive to former Filipinos naturalized abroad and their spouse and children who are traveling with them. Labrusca did not qualify because he was not with his mother at the time. Beginning Monday, the MMDA will impose stiffer fines against illegal parking violators. Fines for vehicles with drivers will increase from 200 to 1,000 pesos and for unattended vehicles from 500 to 2,000 pesos. Meanwhile, public utility buses violating the yellow lane rule on EDSA will be fined 1,000 pesos. That's up from 500 pesos. Motorists found guilty of obstruction will be fined 1,000 pesos, up from 150 pesos. The MMDA was set to impose the higher fines in December, but postponed it because of the holidays and ticketing system adjustment. The Estrella Pantaleon Bridge, also known as Rockwell Bridge in Makati, will be closed again to traffic. In an advisory, the Public Works Department says it will push through with the bridge expansion project. The closure will begin on January 12 at 8 a.m. This major link connects Makati and Barangka Drive in Mandaluyong. The Estrella Pantaleon Bridge was first closed in September but was reopened after 2 days upon the public's request to move repairs until after the holiday season. An estimated 100,000 vehicles will be affected once construction begins. The new bridge will have 4 lanes when it reopens in 2021. We have this breaking news on CNN Philippines. I'm Ina Andulong. Another suspect in the killing of Ako Bicol Party List Representative Rodel Batocabe surrenders to Albay Police today. The suspect, Rolando Arimado, says he was with gunman Henry Yuson, who confessed to the crime yesterday. Arimado adds he was also allegedly ordered by Daraga Albay Mayor Carlwin Baldo to kill Batocabe, who eyed the mayoral post. Arimado was part of a group of 6 who shot the lawmaker and his security aide dead during a gift-giving ceremony in the Albay town on December 22nd. The Metro Manila Police reminds devotees attending the Traslacion on Wednesday to avoid bringing things, especially those that are prohibited. Some of these are bags, caps, and sharp objects. Alcoholic drinks are also banned, and non-alcoholic drinks should be put in a transparent bottle. The police also strongly advise devotees to be disciplined during the event, adding those who will be caught drinking alcohol or using drugs will be arrested. Earlier today, NCRPO Chief Guillermo Eleazar led the inspection of the procession's 6-kilometer route. They conducted an aerial inspection and a walkthrough of the route from Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo. Breaking news on CNN Philippines. I'm Ina Andulong. 6 primary suspects in the killing of Ako Bicol Party List Representative Rodel Batocabe are now in police custody. In a statement, the Philippine National Police says 2 suspects surrendered earlier today. Danilo Muelia, who surrendered in Bicol past midnight, and Rolando Arimado, who surrendered in Masbate at 7 a.m. Muelia, a trusted security aide of Daraga Mayor Carlwin Baldo, was the one who allegedly purchased the pistols used in the murder, while Arimado was tagged as a lookout and backup gunman. The other 4 suspects are Christopher Naval, Emmanuel Roselio, Henry Yuzon, and Jaywin Babor. A key witness, Emmanuel Judavar, also surrendered. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde says only 1 suspect has yet to surrender, Mayor Carlwin Baldo, who was tagged as the mastermind of the December 22 killing. A rare tropical storm lashing southern Thailand that killed 3 people has weakened into a tropical depression. Thai officials announced Pabuk has left the country after making landfall Friday afternoon. Due to the storm, thousands of residents were evacuated, as well as foreigners visiting the country's top beaches. It is highly unusual for tropical storms and typhoons to make landfall in Thailand. Pabuk is the first tropical storm to make landfall there since 1962.
Jacqueline Barroso is rushing to print images of the Black Nazarene on 50 more t-shirts that she has to display on her stall.
Ang tawag po dito, silk screen. Ito po yung ginagamit pantatak. Tapos ginagamitan siya ng pintura na pangdamit. Igigitna natin siya. Yung pagpahid niya po, pababa, isang direction lang po.
Jacqueline learned this practical method of t-shirt printing from her parents. her family has been in the business for 3 long decades. Here in Quiapo, Manila, almost every sidewalk stall sells items printed with the image of the Black Nazarene. Vendors say the week before Tasasyon is the peak season for the t-shirt printing industry here in Manila. Unlike Jacqueline, vendor Rowena Halili orders her t-shirts from Divisoria. Her sales increased by 1 to 2,000 pesos a day during this season.
Simula Friday pa ho ng first Friday, mabili na ho netong mga t-shirt na ganun.
Long-sleeved shirts are at 180 pesos each. Adult t-shirts cost 150 pesos each, while the smaller ones are 30 pesos cheaper. There are also shirts for kids and babies, towels, and even calendars, all plastered with the image of Nazareno. 11-year-old Rian Oporto had her name printed on her shirt. Rian and her friends, who are 12 years old, are preparing to join the Tasasyon with their parents on Wednesday. At their age, they say this is their 4th year joining the Tasasyon.
Para mabawasan din po yung kasalanan na nagagawa. Dati po hindi po niya ako binibigyan ng pera kasi po hindi pa daw po ako pwede. Yung nasubukan ko po, yun dun po siya naniwala. Tapos binigyan niya na po ako kada taon ng perang pampatata, ng pambili ng t-shirt ng Nazareno.
Dozens more of devotees buy their Nazareno shirts as early as Saturday. Vendors say they expect sales to peak on Tasasyon Day itself, when millions of devotees wearing shirts and waving white towels, all printed with the image of the Black Nazarene, are expected to flock the streets of Manila. Devotion to the Black Nazarene comes in many forms. Business as it may seem, but vendors like Jacqueline and Rowena say providing quality Nazareno products is their contribution to this massive spectacle of faith. Makoy Popioko, CNN, Philippines.
The Commission on Elections urges politicians to avoid taking advantage of traslasyon to campaign for the May 2019 polls. COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez calls on what he calls politicos, or attention-seeking politicians, to respect the holy event. Environment group Eco Waste Coalition says the premature campaigning will only aggravate trash, including tarpaulins, leaflets, and other promotional materials. The Manila City government says nearly 400 tons of mixed garbage were collected from Quirino Grandstand and Quiapo during the traditional pahalik and procession in 2018.
5 million people are expected to join the upcoming traslasyon on Wednesday, January 9th. It is the procession of the Black Nazarene image from the Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo Church. But the Metro Manila Police says devotees have nothing to worry about so far. More than 9,000 combined police and military personnel will man the 6-kilometer route. Some of them are in plain clothes to watch out for those individuals acting suspiciously during the event. The police have also implemented a no-fly, no-sail zone. Mobile signals will not be available within the vicinity during traslasyon. Eliasar explains they are still on full alert instead of downgrading it to heightened alert.
This is also my first time para makita yung mismong actual na ruta at nakita natin kung ano mga dapat ayusin. But generally ay nakahanda ang ating kapulisan in coordination with all agencies na involved dito sa traslasyon.
Eliasar led the inspection of the route of the procession this morning. They conducted an aerial inspection and a walkthrough of the route from Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo. He also checked the stations at the 10 segments of the route where the police are deployed. Residents were advised to remove the obstacles on the roads. Ambulant vendors are also not allowed. Many bundles of cable wires and banderitas from previous celebrations are still seen along the route.
Yung kasi mga lugar, nakita natin, napakarami pa rin na mga nakambalang na mga sakyan, mga vendors, but may assurance naman sa atin na tatanggalin lahat yun.
The police are also looking at critical areas such as the Jones Bridge and Quezon Bridge. This is where many devotees tend to go at the same time. Areas where there are several shanty houses and high-rise buildings are also considered critical. The police strongly advise devotees to be disciplined during the event and not to cause commotions in private gatherings, just like this one caught by CNN Philippines last year. The police also say those caught drinking alcohol or using drugs would be arrested. Rex Remitio, CNN Philippines.
Now we talk to the son of Congressman Rodel Batucabe, Attorney Justin Batucabe. Good evening, sir, and thank you for taking our call.
Good evening, Ms. Ina.
Sir, lahat ng suspects nag-surrender na in a matter of a few days. All of them, of course, pointing to Mayor Baldo as the mastermind doon sa kaso ng pagpatay kay Congressman Rodel. Can you give us your thoughts first that all 6 of them have surrendered?
This is the hard work of the entire community, from the PNP to the Army Intelligence to our President, the Governor, AKB party list, and the persons in the citizens of Bicol and Daraga. So I would like to thank everyone for working hard and then, of course, exerting pressure upon these malefactors so that, they can come. They could come out and justice may be served to my father and SPO Orlando Diaz.
Sir, of course, based on the latest statements of Mayor Baldo, he is denying all the allegations against him. As far as you're concerned, ano na po ang next move ninyo?
We will still maintain faith and trust in the system. That's why I always I implore the PNP to investigate further, to continue their investigation, because and for witnesses to come out if there are still any, because really we have no interest in scapegoating anyone. What we want is for the actual perpetrators of the crime to pay. So that's why we're willing to accept any and all valid and corroborated evidence. And so far, so good. We should remember that all these 6 persons of interest have been persons of interest around day 2 of after my father's death. At that time, there was no bounty yet. Well, the bounty was like 15 million and the 2 million of the provincial government, but not yet the 50 million as raised by Congress and Duterte. And after the crime, they have been separated, and they were captured separately. Their statements were taken separately. So these were independent, and all their stories jived on material points, and they all, if they're lying, they could the direction of their statements could have gone anywhere, but it all leads to one direction. So that for me is very good and strong evidence.
Okay. Sir, may desisyon na po ba ang inyong pamilya kung sino ang tatakbo bilang kapalit ni Congressman Rodel?
No. No, not yet. Because actually, ngayon lang po kami nalulungkot. Nung lamay po kasi na nandun pa yung katawan ng aking ama, at syempre nandun ang aming mga kaibigan, supporters, mga pakapamilya, kahit papaano masaya po kami at proud sa mga nagpapakita at nagpupugay at nagbibigay respeto sa aking ama. Pero ngayon po na wala na siya. Ngayon lang talaga kami, ngayon namin nakifeel yung lungkot. So hindi namin pinag-uusapan. Pero as a matter of security din, although I would like to maintain that we will continue his candidacy, we will maintain our mayoralty run for the municipality of Daraga. I-reveal po namin kung sino man yung magsa-substitute, siguro 2 or 3 weeks na before the elections, to avoid then, to making the substitutes a target of these evildoers.
Attorney Justin, do you feel closer to getting justice for your dad? Do you see this happening soon?
Yes, I think all the steps are big steps. They're steps in the right direction. So I have nothing but thanks and praise for the PNP, AFP, and the other intelligence communities and agencies of government. Pero ako po ay abogado din po. So alam ko po na innocent until proven guilty. So I'm personally, I am taking everything with a grain of salt and tempering my expectations as well. But yes, we're confident that justice will be served.
Thank you very much, Attorney Justin Batocabe, for your time. That was the son of Congressman Rodel Batocabe. At home, the death toll from tropical depression Usman rises to 126. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council says 4 reported deaths were added to the 122 recorded on Thursday. The casualties were in the regions of Bicol, Mimaropa, and Eastern Samar. 60 persons were injured, while 26 are still missing. Meantime, President Rodrigo Duterte conducted an aerial inspection in Camarines Sur to check the extent of damage. A state of calamity has been declared in several areas in Eastern Visayas, Bicol, and Oriental Mindoro. Usman's damage to agriculture has reached at least 801 million pesos.